Hey guys, Nick here.
What's going on, y'all? Zach here,
We're just two guys trying to make the world a better place.
and welcome to the Doors.
Let's go, dude. I'm telling you, I'm there, bro. I'm there with you. I'm there. I'm just trying to keep it.
Y'all, this is how excited
down.
we are for this today. Welcome back to the most exciting thing in our lives, and hopefully in yours too. I'm joking. But we are the Doors. We are the developers of our own opportunities, reinventing success. I'm Nicholas Sternloff.
I'm Zachary Otts.
And y'all, did you catch that? Did you catch that right there? Did y'all see the difference? Zach, I don't know if they caught it. So
You don't think they got it, Nick?
I don't
Why
think
don't
they
you
got it.
tell him, bro? Why don't you tell him?
Y'all, as much as we want to reinforce success in your own lives, again, this path that you're on, the things that we're doing, the path that I'm on right now isn't about reinforcing the successes I've already had. It's about reinventing it. I think that we have to reinvent the ideal, the movement, the positivity, the things in your lives that continue to move forward because you are defining it. That's why we're the developers of our own opportunities, reinventing success. Y'all, we're just changed our name. Luckily, the acronym stayed the same, but we feel so much more in tune with this. It's just, we're blown away by it. We came up with it the past week, and woo. Zach, what do you think?
2021, new year, new doors. We believe, like we said, Nick, we really love to reinforce success in your guys' life. But one of the things that Nicholas and I were talking about was that success is in the eye of the beholder. It's reinventing it to success in your own life. And that's what we want the doors to be. We want the doors to be that beacon of success, the beacon of self-actualization, but self-actualization in your own lives.
Mm-hmm.
So, Nick, why don't you tell them a little bit what we're going to be talking about today and kind of what the game plan is?
All right. So lately, I mean, we all just got into 2021. I know a lot of people make New Year's resolutions. I didn't, but I set some goals. And we're going to talk about those goals and how they really apply to our lives moving forward. And the way that we set our goals that we're talking about right now, it's called setting your anchor. So this podcast title is Setting Your Anchors in 2021. And this all comes from my brother and his girlfriend are getting married. He proposed to her. Excuse me. He proposed to her on December 23rd, 2020, and I got home that night and I called my grandfather. We were talking. I was telling him I was so happy that I was crying. And he's like, "You don't look so happy." And he's like, well, I was like, honestly, we ended up talking about how my future is going and the things that I was worried about and how I was so happy for Connor and them, how they could be so sure to be in that moment. And that's such a powerful place to be. And he told me this. He goes, I just told him I've been in a rut. And he goes, at the end of the day, you have to get up each and every single day. And when you wake up, say, fuck it. It's a new day. Get going. And that really hit me. I had to write that down when I was talking to him. I mean, I was definitely in an emotional state, but that's my 2021, dude. I mean, I think that as we continue to become adults, one of the most reasonable things we can do is become more organized and be more fruitful in the actions we're taking. Am I correct?
100%. I mean, you have to.
Yeah. So that's my first goal. We're going to talk about 5 goals each today, and we're going to communicate back and forth upon those ideas. But my first goal that I want to strive towards this year is get going. I think that's one of the biggest things that I've had to struggle with in many years is that like I can be very productive when I need to be. I can be very in in mode, in line, on as Matthew McConaughey has to say, grass to dirt roads and autobahns. I'm on that autobahn. I'm moving forward. I'm in a flow state. But at the same time, I have states where I just crumble and I focus on nothing I should be doing. And that's my first rule, is just to get going, accomplish something, take a step forward, make moves in the things that I want to do. Because that's as I'm growing older in 2021, I'm trying to make this year my best year of my life. You know what I mean?
Dude, hey, I'm 100% behind you, Nick, and I bet 1,000 people listening are in the same boat. Because it's 2021, man.
Thank you, those future 1,000 people that have not listened yet, but will eventually, hopefully. I love you guys.
Gotta speak it into existence, Nicholas.
Yes, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I think that's so important to just get going. I mean, we talk about the journey of 1,000 miles because of a single step. It's just time to get going. It's time to get the ball rolling. It's time to make moves in 2021. So that is headliner. The rest of my things are actually coincide with that notion of get going. Second one, bring others. I think it's so important to have a community of individuals that surround you. What would you think about bringing others on the journey that you're going to go through this year, Zach?
Man, honestly, I would think of it as a blessing. And that's kind of the way I look at it, though. You know, people kind of come and go. And if you have someone in your life right now that's there, you know, that situation could be a blessing in disguise, but it also could be a lesson in disguise as well. So it's one of those things where I'm always open. I'm always really lenient to helping people because you never know what you can learn from someone.
Yeah.
2021 for me, I want to be a year of learning, a year of growth, and a year of putting my foot down and becoming my best self, holding myself accountable.
I think that's not easy, man.
No, not at all, Nick. And I think one of the hardest things about holding yourself accountable is, you know, it's like Matthew McConaughey says in that book, Green Lights. No one's going to come police you and tell you, hey, you know, your diet's off, man. Hey, you know, you shouldn't be talking to that girl. You know, your wife's going to get mad. Or, hey, you know, you shouldn't be hanging around with those people. You know, you fall into bad things when you're there. And I think it's those moments, man. Those are the moments where you begin to change. And 2021, for me, like I said, it's already been something incredible. You know, I had a situation the other day where we were at work, and it was just everything was going good, man. Like, you know, work's going good. You know, I'm back in training full time and everything like that. And then I come home and I have Taekwondo, and it's martial arts, and it keeps me grounded. It keeps me, you know, flourishing, and it keeps my body fluent.
Yeah.
But I had to go, and I was just so tired, Nick. Like, I was just so tired. I was like, I just want to go lay down. You know, I can quit. I can just go, you know, the next day, because I just have to go 2 days a week. So I'll just go the next day. And I told myself, no, 2021 will be a year where you accomplish all your goals.
Snap, man.
I sat there. Yeah. I sat there, man. I shook my head. I said, no, we're going. We're getting our asses up. We're getting off the couch. We're not going to watch Cobra Kai or, you know, some Netflix series. We're not going to sit there and binge it. We're not going to eat ice cream. We're going to get up. We're going to drink a glass of water, and we're going to head out. So I get there, man, and we sparred. We sparred for a long time. And dude, I came out of it with 2 black eyes. You know what I mean? But
he really has 2 black eyes, y'all. He really does.
Yeah, right now. If we had video, I'd show you, but unfortunately, my face doesn't look very pretty right now. But when I came out of that, the dojo that night, and I was sitting in my truck, I was sitting there, you know, listening to some music, and I was just thinking, you know, it kind of hurts a little bit. You know, my eye hurts a little bit. My shin's bruised up real bad, you know, from kicking. And I was sitting there saying, this is what it's about. This right here is going to make me grow. This is going to make me stronger, because if I can succeed in here, then I can succeed in any definition of my own success, because I'm building confidence in myself. I'm holding myself accountable when I'm falling back into negative pathways.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it's most about, man. For 2021 for me is I'm gonna make sure that no matter what, I'm sticking true to my purpose, my passion, and what I want to do as a person.
Dude, and that's really, really important. I mean, honestly, that's a great story. That goes into my third point even is do everything big, man. Like we only got one life to fucking live. Like I mean, there are times in my life that I remember the things that I'm doing and enjoying the moment. But like Zach just said, dude, like he went in there and balls to the walls, came out with fucking two black eyes, his whole body bruised when he didn't even want to go. But like that's doing something big. That's going out of your way. That's getting going. And that's so that's such an important thing to be focused on is and like in my case, like one of the whole things that I would really want to do this year is I want to make a whole bunch of fucking memories. I want to go places. I want to do things. I want to communicate with people. I want to have a good time, and I just want to live life. Like I just want like that's what I want to do, and to do that. So I have those 3 points. My fourth one, I just got to be better. Like I think that I get so comfortable sitting in the places that I usually get stuck in. Like I'll get stuck in this chair that I'm in right now, playing video games, searching stuff to doing things like that, like just doing whatever. But I like what I really need to be doing is like right now I have a job opportunity to be a production manager for Instagram account that this guy that I know that wants to do it, and it's a really cool opportunity. And like one of the things I got to do is if I want to get to where I want to go, if I'm going somewhere, if I just started get going, if I want to get to where I want to go, I have to be better. And that means I need to do research. I need to study. I need to look at the things that I really want to try to like put my time and my like effort into, because that's where I'm going to try to make money or be happy doing it. And like, I just to top it off real quick, like my fifth one that I'm focusing on that is just to be grateful, man. I'm very grateful as it is to be alive, to be what I'm doing. But like, I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for this podcast. And like, it just makes my life so much more enjoyable to be grateful in that in what I'm doing. And those are the 5 things I'm working. I know it's like a little rambo jambo right now, but those are the 5 things that are like leading me into 2021. And like I think that's gonna really they're such simple things. It's not huge, unobtainable things. It's lifestyle, movement, momentum, day in, day out. Does that make sense?
I think it's utterly like just a total mentality switch, man.
Yeah.
Because Nicholas and I both did like a phrase for our 5 things. And if you had to put yours into, 3 to 5 words, Nick, what would you sum up your 2021?
Get going and don't stop.
Love it. Absolutely love it. So, you guys are hearing it. Get going and don't stop. It's one of those things where 2021 is going to be exactly what you make it. If you make the most out of those opportunities, you're gonna be able to make a drastic shift in your mindset, a drastic shift in your physical dwelling, exactly a big shift in your mental status, and even bigger
Exactly.
one in your spiritual. Because it's those things that we're trying to work on. My term that I used for 2021, just summing everything up, was rise and shine. And I it's kind of funny because I walk around sometimes I'm like, rise and shine, motherfuckers. Like it's time to get up and go. Yeah, Nick, I mean, this first time, dude. Like it was like that story I just told you. There's times, man, you don't want to do it. You don't. But you got to tell yourself, rise and shine, motherfucker. Get up. Let's go. Let's get to work. Let's become the best us that we can be. Let's bring out our potential. And that's leading me into, my first point, man, is I want to find my center. I want to find me, who I am as a person, not who someone else expects me to be or not who people are thinking I am. No, who are you?
Mm.
And I think that's got to start with asking yourself those questions.
I think to jump on your point real quick, I think that's so important. Like in moments like I'm glad that I have you to talk to about some of these things. So like sometimes I don't know how to communicate my emotions, and I talked about this recently, or I talked about it a couple of people. Is like the way that I communicate who I am and how I do things is now through either communicating to others through 3 ways: communicating through others, through meditation and self-actualization, or writing it down. Only those three ways have been what I've been able to find is how to actually coerce what I am. And like I know jumping into this real quick. Sorry, Zach. I have something I wrote down in my journal recently that goes along real well with this. Do you mind? Do you care if I read it?
No, dude, this is beautiful. Please.
All right. So basically, okay. So this is going off of actually the 5 points I made, which ties into this really great. Is those are very generalized, but I don't think I do think these ideals are get fine. So Nick, we got to get off our ass and make something out of ourselves. Wake up with a time to yourself. Plan, think, become a man, a person who is a man of ideas and action. If you're bad at something and you want to be good at it, learn, research, and grow. Nothing is stopping you but your own ideals, emotions, and actions. So get going and become everything you ever wanted to be. I've been thinking a lot about life today, the things I want to have, the things I need, and everything in between. It takes courage, humility, and an unwavering will to move forward to get anywhere in life. That's hard to keep up. Life isn't always pushing forward or even a straight line. Sometimes we don't even realize where we are until it's where we were. That perfect balance of movement and presentness, the glory, that person who we are, exactly like Zach was talking about. That glory isn't something I can constantly be, but it's something I can strive towards. I'm aiming for a glory so bright, one that brings love to not only me, but those I love as well. Because as long as I'm grooving, if I got love and a means to provide, I know I'm living life. And on that note, figure this shit out and give yourself a little credit and a little leeway. And that's that's, I think those moments, like I know that was a little personal, like that was like something I really wrote, like that was my mindset the other day. But like those moments where I can sit down and write that, like that's defining a part of me. That's finding out a little bit of who I am. That's why I was trying to tie into that.
Man, Nick, I gotta say, man, thank you so much for one. And dude, that's why I love you, man. Like this is why we're doing the doors. It's, we're breaking down walls. We're opening doors in people's lives, not just y'all's, but our own. And Nick, thank you so much for opening up, brother. Like that was beautiful. And there's actually a quote, man, and it really made me think about this is, going right along in with finding your center. And it says, when you find your center, you're not going to be drawn into someone else's storm. Instead, be so grounded that they gravitate towards your peace. And that's one of the things I love about,
can you say that again? That hit me. that just hit me. Say that again.
Yeah. Okay. So when you find your center, you will not be drawn into someone else's storm. Instead, be so grounded that they gravitate towards your peace. And
I like that
like I was saying, Nick, that's deep. It's deep. I'm very thankful, for my friends and especially you, man, because everyone's been so supportive, of this journey of the doors. And I think that's what's so great is really allowing your independent mind to flow. Because, dude, there's been so many people that could have done great and amazing things that never took the opportunity because people told them they couldn't. So that's going along, with finding that center. You've got to learn to trust your own unique nature.
Damn right.
Strive to trust that nature, those instincts, that intuition, and, be free from what these earthly tethers are telling you. There's going to be a lot of times you're going to fall down. There's going to be times like things don't make sense, but half the time, dude, it's for the common good. Like God will remove things from you, but first you just kind of have to let him, man. And there's a lot of times where you don't know why you don't.
Exactly.
And I think that's what's beautiful about it is there's the surrendering. There's this certain feeling that you have to get to where you let go of everything. You don't worry anymore. You don't allow yourself to be bothered because Jane Doe's talking crap or so-and-so did you wrong or someone owes you money, or you're so stressed out about a job or a school that, you're not allowing yourself to be free. You're worrying too much. Let it all go. And I promise it'll work out better. But that's also going to lead me straight into my second point, man, which is seize your day. Give yourself a fighting chance. You know, carpe diem. Nick, and you know this straight from cheerleading. There's
Yeah.
people put carpe diem on everything. So, you know, and I had a question for you. What does the term seize the day mean to you?
Well, I mean, it depends on like I have so many meanings. I think I worked at a gym called Clarksville Cheer Extreme, and they had one of their athletes die in the past, and his quote was "seize the day." So that's another reason why it's important. But and rest his soul, peace, rest his soul. But rest in peace. But at the end of the day, seizing the day, dude. I just think that it's a hard concept to grasp sometimes, because just like I said in that little like excerpt I just had, is you can't always be that person that's 100%. You can't always be that thing you strive towards, but you can continue to strive towards it. And I think that that's important. We have to have the awareness to wake up and want to seize our day, or the awareness to, I think it's more important than even doing that, the awareness to understand that you're not there, and the willingness to strive to seize your day. So like, again, like a good example is the past couple of days, or I guess the last week, I've been waking up at 11:30 in the afternoon, like in the 11:30 a.m. and I'll get up and I get so mad. And now, so do I have the willingness to seize my day, get to sleep on time, get up and do what I really need to do to move forward? But I do. It's just my brain has to be aware of those notions and be upset with myself, or try to make a difference. Again, I'm a man of ideas and action this year, y'all.
Dude, that's the way you have to be, Nick. I agree 100%. And I think it's a feeling, man. It's, you know, we've been really talking about here these past few months, and this is something I'm getting better at, but it's still very hard to do. You know, living in the present moment, I feel like it's helping you seize your day, because you have to develop certain routines. You have to develop a mindset where you're building confidence in yourself. You're holding yourself accountable to things. And I almost think that feeling, it's almost like you got to live as if you're going to die tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be that motivated to reinvent your success. And you've got to learn things every single day as if you have forever to learn. Because when we get to that point, man, where we're trying to seize our day, our attitude's going to determine our altitude. And you know that firsthand, Nick. If you got a crappy attitude, most of the time it's almost impossible for you to learn. But the minute you break down those walls and let go of those barriers, it's going to completely transform you.
And
you're going to look back. Go ahead.
To jump in on this, if you're listening, the most important thing about that, y'all, is that we're striving towards that to seize the day. I think that it's not something, again, like we want to be our 100%, but at the end of we're humans. We make mistakes. We never know how life's going to go. Be wary and understand that if it doesn't go perfectly your way, if we don't seize the day the same way, as long as we're making actions to move forward, you're doing a fucking great job.
Exactly. Get up and try again the next day.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to get it the first try. Most of us don't. But I think it's important, man. It's a spiritual detox, if you will. Building routines, reading good material. Me and Nicholas are really fond of reading and writing and putting your emotions out there. So that way you can kind of become a little bit of aware of what you're doing. And to be truthful, if I would have never started doing this and expressing myself through sports and actualization and reading and writing, I couldn't tell you where I'd be right now.
Dude,
because there's a lot of overcoming emotions they're impossible to break down by yourself. They are.
I mean, I think this is a side topic a little bit, but I think this is so important right now. Like, I think that being able to express your emotions and being able to communicate them, other than just being stuck in your head, is one of the most vital roles into having a healthy mind, like a healthy mentality. Like, a lot of people suffer depression and anxiety because they just don't feel like they can talk about these issues. And at the end of the day, some of the things that I'm doing has helped me get out of these ruts. Writing down how I'm feeling or thinking, or the things that I even need to do in a journal. Being able to talk to someone that's open and willing, like Zach, or being able to sit down and address my own feelings in meditation. I
So
think
this is perfect.
that's so important, man.
So this is absolutely perfect because, you know, life to me, man, is like a book. Life to me is like a book, and literally you either turn or you burn the page.
Damn, that worked
And
well. That worked well.
you gotta get. I know it fell right into it, didn't it?
Yeah.
You gotta turn or burn the page, man. You know, there's some situations you turn the page, you surrender to, you be patient, and you trust the process. And then there's some of them, man, you rip them the fuck out and you burn it, because there is those situations that do not serve you. What does Matthew McConaughey say? Sometimes a red light can be a green light.
Yes, sir.
But this is the point now, and this is my third topic. You know, so we got number 1 with find your center, 2 seize your day, and 3 turn or burn the page. This is where you let God open or close the doors in your life. You surrender. You be patient. You trust that process, because I promise you the rewards that you're going to gain from that is going to be way bigger than your sacrifice. So you got to ask yourself, what no longer serves you? What no longer is helping you get to where you're going? What is taking away your peace? And then I'm just going to go straight into number 4, which is mastering my craft. Nicholas kind of hit on that really well. You got to do it until you can't get it wrong. You just have to. Nick, have you ever had a situation where you had to make sure that no matter what, you were prepared?
I mean, I think there's plenty of times. It really just depends on the actual moment. But I've been there. I think that I've had people relying on me. I've had places of leadership where I've been looked towards for almost for understanding and guidance. So yes, I understand what you're saying. I've been in those situations.
Interesting, man. It's really interesting. So I got a quote here specifically for that. And it's one of those things that I feel like if you're going to become a master of yourself or any skill, Nick, you've got to almost like invoke yourself in it. Wouldn't you agree?
No, you're not wrong. Exactly.
So to me, if you want to master something, you got to fall in love with it. You got to fail with it too. You can't just learn from just being in love and, just mastering it. You've really got to fall in love and fail with it. And you got to dedicate your life to understanding and mastering it, because there's knowledge behind something if you're going to master it. And it's going to take the entire will of your heart, mind, and soul. But once you get those working in perfect unison, man, there's no ceiling to what you can do in your life. Absolutely no ceiling. And guess what? If you can master one thing, now you have a blueprint to master something else. Once you master something else, guess what? Now you've mastered yourself. And if anyone that's mastered their self knows, you're going to continue to grow. But I think it's one of those things where I don't think you ever actually get to a point where you've mastered it all. Wouldn't you say, Nick?
Yeah. I mean, I think it depends on of course. I mean, you can beat games, but you're always going to make mistakes. I think that gymnastics is a really great example of that. Cheerleading as well. You have a set routine that you create, and you're going into it to perfect it to the best of your ability. At the end of the day, that's not possible. Something always happens. Something always could have been better. Something could always be more on time. But that's why people strive to the best of the best, like in cheerleading, in gymnastics, in business, in whatever it may be. They strive to perfect that even more, because they have immortal finish lines. They continue to push forward because they want to become better. My buddy Lake Reidner, he gave me, I was talking to him about the job thing that I have lined up recently. And he goes, and we're diving into it and talking about talent and how much and different things like that. And he goes, at the end of the day, talent is just interest of heart. It's how invested are you to becoming better? How invested are you to willing to fail and continue to move forward? That's what I think about that.
I love it, man. I love it. And it's interesting to kind of see different people's mindsets, because there's a lot of people who have put it in like a different practical approach, but they all had this like this hunger about them, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
So that's going to lead me into my fifth one, Nick, and that's just going to be hungry.
I'm so hungry.
There's
right
a
now.
quote that says, "Oh man, it would be." I'm hungry too, bro. We were actually talking about in church. This is kind of a side topic, but we were talking about fasting and praying, and really being in that spirit, trying to like get your spirit detoxed and everything like that. And he was talking about detoxifying our souls, and how like biblically, people want to fast from technology, or people want to fast from social media, or like a drink or something like that. He said, but really a fast should be a food. And he said what it does, and he broke it down into like what it does for your body and everything like that. But he said, if you can get to a point where you can lay your lives down as almost like a surrender, or you like sacrifice for God, God will sacrifice for you. So the sky's really the limit on what God can do in your life. But it's taking those little times and holding yourself accountable. And it was just interesting, man, because I was sitting there, and I always write notes, because you just never really know what kind of lesson you're going to be learning that day, or if there's a quote you want to remember. And that one right there just dwelled on me, because I was thinking about, why do we do the things we do anyway? It's because we want to do them. So in turn, what's the reward for doing the things that we don't want to do?
Yo,
I think that's an important question we
dude,
need to ask ourselves.
Yes, that's so. Listen, that is so important. I've been thinking about this week. So like, I was sitting there and I was talking to myself. I was like, I wrote it down. Let me find it. I was basically talking about how important it is to do the things that you don't want to do. I don't know, but I'll find it later and I'll talk about it at some point. But what I was thinking about was basically like how important it is to get the shitty things done first, the things you don't want to do, because then you can overcome. If you can do the things you don't want to do, especially in business or in some kind of sport or whatever you're doing, if you can overcome that shitty thing, if you can overcome that shitty experience, that shitty situation, what else can you fucking do? And so like that's what like I was like even like
Exactly.
I'm sitting there like geeking about it, because like there's so many things that like I don't think like right now like I could comprehend doing if I just threw myself into it. But if I practice, if I get into there, like if I can overcome that, what else can I fucking do?
Exactly. So I was talking about earlier, turn or burn the page. So let's just use the analogy life's like a book. So there comes a time, you're going to have to choose between turning or burning, the page you're on. Page could be a day in your life. It could be a month. It could be a season. It could be years, habits, whatever it is. There's going to come a day when you have to accept, hey, this is the page I'm on. And then, if you turn it, guess what? You realize there's more to the book we call life. And guess what? If you realize, hey, this is bad for me, rip it out, burn it, and you're on to the next page of the book. Yeah. But don't waste too much time being stuck on one page, because if not, you're not going to make it to the end of the book.
Yo, I just had a real realization of this. I just got a rug, y'all, and I'm so happy. I feel like a fucking adult. It makes like I love it. I love having a rug. I know it sounds funny, but I love it, and I'm going to enjoy it. But what I've done is yesterday I just sat down on the rug and I stretched, because that's what one of the reasons I bought it for, is a place to stretch. And I sat there and I was like, I think I even wrote this down. Yeah, I am very excited about the rug I purchased today. With that being said, it has been nice to gain a sense of perspective and grounding sitting on the ground. Just exactly like Zach said, it's not always great to sit on that page. It's not always great to sit in the same place and have the same perspective. I mean, you're standing up, we stand up all day, but how often do we sit down on the ground, like as low as we can go, and just look at things from a different perspective, get a different mindset, allow ideas to flow in a different way, differently than they flow usually. I think that's important for creativity too.
100%, man. 100%. You know, that was one of the things I was talking about earlier, dude. Like, you've got to allow that free mind to flow. Otherwise, like, how are you gonna know? Like, how are you gonna know what it is you're supposed to do or who you are at your core? And it it's just it's so beautiful. There's so many beautiful lessons and attributes that you can gain from just looking at the world in a different way. And I think this is something, you know, Nicholas and I do really well. And there's lots of people that I'm coming across that are more in tune than I am. And I was talking to um, one of my guys I work with, and he was like, you know, people always try to make life seem so complex. He said it's supposed to be a lot more simple. You got your family, of course, you got your finances, you got your hobbies and your fun stuff, and then you have everything else. He said, focus on the things that matter. And man, I took that to heart. I said, and I started asking myself, because y'all know I'm really into the think tank and critical questions and stuff like this. So I started asking myself, what truly matters? So in 2021, don't spend your time, your peace, your joy, your happiness, your money, whatever it is, on things that don't matter to you. Make 2021 the best year of your life. Make the most out of your opportunities. And guess what? You will reinvent your own success.
All right. And again, y'all, just to reiterate and go back over everything that we've gone over today. I know it's been a little bit of mumbo jumbo. We got some learning to do as well. So the things that I'm going to be focusing on in 2020 to move forward in the best way possible is these 5 things. I'm going to get going. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to take steps. I'm going to bring others. I'm going to make memories. I'm going to enjoy the company I have and not take it for granted. I'm going to do everything big so that I can continue to move forward in a positive way and know that I didn't leave any regrets behind. I'm going to be better than I ever been. I'm going to continue to push forward and be the best Pokemon trainer that I can be.
Yes, sir. Hell yeah, Nick.
And I'm going to be grateful for all the opportunities and the things that I have in my life. And those are the 5 things that are going to push me forward in 2021.
So mine, I'm going to really try to be centered in who I am as a person. That's finding out who I am. My second one was going to be to seize my day, developing routines, building my faith, confidence, and filling myself with blessings. My third one was turn or burn the page. Surrender, patience, trust that process. Number 4, I'm going to master my crafts. I'm going to be hungry and do the work. And then number 5, it's going to be hungry and move the mountains in my life. What is my mountain? I'm going to help others climb along the way. And I'm going to make sure that I become the best me I can be in 2021.
Man, I love that. This has honestly been a really great exercise, y'all. And just to be able to write these things down. And I think these ideals and ideas have been ingrained in our brain in some way. And it's definitely, even in the week or so that I've been using this and thinking about this, it's really allowed me to understand the places I need to go, the things I need to accomplish, and what steps I need to do to continue to move forward this year.
I think you said it awesome, man. I think we just continue to trust in the process. And you guys listening out there, ask yourselves those questions. Remember, don't let people take your peace. Let them gravitate towards you. Don't allow them to let you fall into turmoil. Move the mountains in your life. Because it's going to be one of those things where you could be right on the edge of your blessing. You could be right there at it. And if you don't continue, if you don't allow yourself to be anchored, you could be blown away. So rise and shine, motherfuckers. Let's get up and let's make 2021 the best.
Oh, damn right. We're the Doors. Bye.